Alrighty, so here is the combo tutorial for the new Kashtira P.U.N.K deck list. It's going to be a little, sorry it's a little late, I've been very busy, but it's going to be a little different of a format. It's going to be more of a long form video where I just show off a couple combos in the new deck to help give you guys an understanding. So first off, Unicorn or Planet, which searches Unicorn, is a one card starter for full Kashtira combo. So you can basically do it like this. Say you don't have access to your P.U.N.K lines, say you draw 4 hand traps and a Unicorn or Planet or access to Unicorn. So it can be just a one card combo. So you summon Unicorn, you want to get Theosis. Now do remember that Theosis and the special summon of Rise Heart XYZ lock you, so if you're going to do any of these plays at the end, and I'll show you that later on, you're going to want to do it after your normal P.U.N.K lines. Alright, so you activate that, you target Unicorn, special summon Fenrir, use Fenrir's effect to grab Rise Heart, overlay those, and then you can special summon Rise Heart, declare his effect, let's make him 7, banish a Kashtira, now you can banish a Kashtira. Now you can do one of two things. You can either, if you don't want to go into their turn with Shangri, and you want to have a Rise Heart's banish effect live immediately. See, with 3 cards, you can detach from this card, target 1 card on the field, banish it face down. Now he's a Macrocosmos, so when any card is played, it's gonna chain. So on their turn, unless they deal with him right away, he'll be active soon enough. But say you don't want to give them, the Shangri-Ear effect, to where if you're versing Kashtira, they can then make a Rise Heart over any single Kashtira card. They can normal summon a Rise Heart and turn it into an Arise. So if you don't want to do that, you could overlay it over here, or you could just overlay it over the Rise Heart, and then you have Shangri-Ear on their turn, summon a Fenrir, summon a Unicorn. Unicorn in this situation, if this is all I'm putting up, I'd probably prefer, just because this is a very susceptible board to Zeus, and since Zeus is at 1, it can rip that out. Now let me show you what this can do alongside some P.U.N.K lines. Okay, so if you open Birth, you can also do your normal P.U.N.K line with the Rise Heart line. So say you open, access to P.U.N.K line, the P.U.N.K line, and you get just a random some fodder. So here, same thing, Race Off reaches Unicorn, Unicorn's full combo, you got everything you need. So these bait really well. If you pop Race Off, that's full combo. If they have an interruption for it, they're probably going to interrupt it unless, it's say an imperm and they're saving it for Unicorn. But you go Race Off, get Unicorn, use the Unicorn effects. Now both these cards are going to bait negations very well, so if they don't negate it, that's a good indication of the state of their hand. Now you can grab your Theosis, because we already have Birth, normal, because we don't want to do this at the beginning, since it'll XYZ lock us. Normal, go through the normal P.U.N.K line. We're gonna grab Foxy. Now, see, normally, if you didn't have an additional P.U.N.K in hand, you couldn't make Baron right here, and then go into the Carp line for the full P.U.N.K combo. So, that's not protected anyways. So what you can do here, is you can go into the Carp combo, and once you get to Madam at the end, you can make Baron for your board. Or what you can do here is you can, instead of making Baron at the end, I'll show you what you can do. So the normal line, I'm going to go Foxy. Let's get rid of talents. Then we're going to summon Shirakusai. If you had another Punk, you could go Baron as well. So I'll show that off as well. You can go Shirakusai effect. I'm not going to do the life points for this, but you understand. Summon Carp effect. I say they were holding Ash for Carp this entire time. They Ash Carp, you still got Theosis, and say for some reason they didn't Ash those, they have or not Ash, say they had because they would have Ashed those. So they had like a Valor or a extra Imperm. For some reason they didn't negate those, but you get the deal. Or if you have this in your hand and you have this, you have full combo regardless of what they do to this Punk board at this time. Okay, so we're gonna get Deer Note. We're gonna get Wagon effect. We're gonna get the field spell. Gonna make Jam Dragon. Jam 1. Deer Note 2. Gonna special Shirakusai. We're gonna search Spider. And then we're gonna draw a field spell. Got another Foxy. Alright, and then we're going to use the effect. We're gonna banish. Gonna special. Use the effect. We're going to get Surprise. Draw a field spell. Another Ash, not very useless. Or not very useful. And then we have some options. So you can go into Baron here, or what you can do is go into a bigger Rise Heart combo. So I'll show what I'd like doing since we have Birth. Go into Baron. Now, if you had another Punk in hand for the Shirakusai effect, say earlier, like say I had this Foxy in hand earlier, you could have done Baron before all this. So then we're going to use that. Special summon out the Unicorn. Use Theosis on the Unicorn. Special summon out a Fenrir. Use Fenrir's effect. And we can do a couple things here. So we can get Scareclaw, and we can just go into Shangri, have the Scareclaw in hand on their turn just as a defensive tool, but really it's not that great. So what I recommend doing is grabbing the Rise Heart, because that'll get you to same thing we did earlier. You're going to overlay. Going to do that. Special summon. Declare. Banish. And then make a Rise Heart. And then on their turn, you can summon a Fenrir. Or a Kashtira. So you can summon a Scareclaw Kashtira so that, if they attack into any of these, their effects are negated. You can summon a Unicorn for an extra deck grip. If you're, worried about Zeus, you can summon a Fenrir. I'd summon a Fenrir. Actually, since I have a lot of interaction, you can do it one of two ways. We have a lot of interaction here. You know, we have a banish, we have an omni, we have a. So one thing to keep in mind with the macro is Jam and Shirakusai are going to be banished if you go into AD. Now this loses you the Jam. If your opponent activates a card or effect in response to your P.U.N.K card or effect activation while this is in your graveyard, you can special summon this, and then once it's special summoned, you can search a level 3 psychic monster. So I cut Ogre for this format, so it would just search follow-up for the next turn, you know, Zeoman basically. But you're going to lose that, and you're going to lose a bounce, so you're only going to have 1, 2, 3 bounces instead of the 4 on AD. So do keep that in mind since you have the macro up. But since I have so much interaction here, I'm probably actually going to go for the Unicorn. And then, yeah, that's your board. Now, earlier, like I said, you know, say you had a P.U.N.K card in hand for the Shirakusai effect. When you, after you normal summon the Zeoman, you can make Baron, you know, if you have the Birth in hand, you make Baron right away, you can do all this right away. Now, let's show off some more combos. So that's like the best board you can hope for. Now, say you don't, similar thing here, is we open Theosis. So this hand, you know, you don't really have any access to the P.U.N.K combo unless you can activate Triple Tactics. So, Unicorn. This is just the Kashtira line and like what you can do with it, you know, if you open basically Birth or Theosis. So you can Unicorn. Now we're gonna grab, where is the Birth? We're gonna grab Birth. Now do keep in mind, as soon as we do this, we're going to be XYZ locked, so we're not really interested in the P.U.N.K cards at that point. You can save them for follow-up. And then we're going to Theosis. Get out our Fenrir effect. Grab us our Rise Heart. Now do keep in mind, so Kashtira, Scareclaw Kashtira can also ban. It's not just a Kashtira monster; it's a Kashtira card. So you can, you know, if you have a banish, say you have a, you know, a banished Unicorn or whatever, if you banish this Kashtira Theosis instead, you can target one of your banished Kashtira cards, except Kashtira Theosis, add it to your hand. So say you have a banished Kashtira card, you can actually do this and, you know, banish Theosis and get a banished Kashtira card back. So but just to show off the comment, we're gonna get the Rise Heart, overlay these. Going to, oh, I forgot. So when you know, banish off Rise Heart, you lock a zone, and that's what activates the special summon effect of a Rise Heart. We're gonna declare. We're gonna banish a card. So like here, right? Say I had a Scareclaw Kashtira in hand. I can banish, you know, Fenrir. And then if I had Scareclaw Kashtira in the hand, I'll show you the extension later. So then we can do the Arise. Over the Rise Heart. Same thing I showed earlier, and that's full combo. Or what you could do is 2 extra, 2 hand. Say you had the Scareclaw in hand. You can special summon, declare, banish the Fenrir. You can banish the Theosis. Get the Fenrir. And then you can make a overlay, and then you have a active arise. Oh, sorry, I'm not used to dueling book too much. You have a active arise immediately, and you have a Shangri-Era, and then you have follow up as well. You can activate your birth. Now, say you had let's see, a way to get a Kashtira in gray, say you had a Foxy or something like that. You could have had all this, birth, everything. Like there's so many starters in this deck. One card, there's so many one-card starters. Yaman's a one-card starter. Unicorn's a one-card starter. Planet's a one-card starter. Even Fenrir, if you have a Fenrir and you have Rise Heart or Scareclaw, I can show you that. Let's get rid of some of this. Say you open just say you open Fenrir Rise Heart, for instance. You can still special summon Fenrir. If I have Rise Heart, I'm getting Scareclaw here. If I have Scareclaw, I'm getting Rise Heart. And then you can normal, clear the effect, banish, and then you can, if you have, sorry, well, this requires an additional P.U.N.K in hand. Sorry, I forgot to mention. So, or additional, say you just open this. Say you open like double Fenrir and this as well. You can still use the effect, so you can actually do it like this. You can still use the effect, so special summon. Get rid of the other Fenrir. And same thing, you can go into Shangri-Era, special, then you can use, you can banish the Theosis, get one of those back for follow-up. You can do all types of combos, but let's show off another P.U.N.K line. So, similar thing, Fenrir requires a couple additional cards in hand. It's not a one-card starter, but it is pretty nice. So, what if we don't get Birth or Theosis in hand? Let's say top of deck. Let's just show like our normal P.U.N.K lines. So we have Unicorn or Planet. Gonna need some fodder to discard, and we'll just do this. So you can do this. We'll get our Amen. I would do this after the Unicorn, of course, just to bait negates. So before that, Unicorn. Now you can do one of two things. You can either play into, if you have things like Called By, if you, choose to play Cross Out, and you have ways to stop their interruption, you can play into interruption more, and instead of making the Baron. It's riskier, but it is doable. So you can do this. Oh, I forgot to grab the Theosis. So you can get the Theosis. Same thing, you know, grab Foxy, use Foxy effect. Grab Shara effect, go into Carp effect. Do Wagon, yada yada yada. Do the Deer Note. Wagon effect. Field spell. Jam Dragon. Jam Dragon Chainlink 1, Deer Note Chainlink 2, Special Summon, search out Madam. I'm just gonna streamline this real quick. Madam, we're gonna draw off the field spell. We're going to Special Summon. So, and then like that's the thing with the field spell as well. You're gonna draw into additional cards that can change your play as well. Like so here, we can get an additional Kashtira card. You know, we can get Scareclaw Kashtira here. We can get Riseheart here. So, you know, Special Summon, Banish, get Surprise, and draw a card off field spell. And then what we can do is we can go, so now we can go into our Kashtira plays since we're done with our P.U.N.K combo, and these will XYZ lock us. So, before this actually, you can do one thing. So if you want to do one thing I would do here, if I'm not going for a Baron at the end, you know, say I didn't draw into this race off, I'll show both lines. So what you could do here is you could make AD, Special Summon, you know, make Amazing Dragon. That way you have Jam in grave, because we're going to make a Rise. So that way Jam's not banished, and we have that option for the Jam Special Summon follow-up effect where we can search follow-up with it. So you can do that, but since we drew into Race Off, I'm going to hold the Madam because I believe we can make a Baron with it. Oh no. How would we do this? Because Theosis is going to lock us. Okay, so I believe we can do it like this. So we Race Off. Do we have any Kashtiras? We get our Scareclaw. We're gonna make Baron. Then we're gonna use Scareclaw's effect. We're gonna use Scareclaw, banishing Unicorn. So this is just like a little fluidity of the combo. So if I didn't draw into Race Off, same thing. We could have just gone into Theosis, grab Fenrir, Special Summon Fenrir with the Theosis, use Fenrir's effect, grab Riseheart, overlay the Unicorn and the Fenrir for Shangri, Special Summon Riseheart, use its effect, banish 3, you know, banish a Unicorn, lock a zone with the Shangri, then overlay the Arise onto the Riseheart. Then we have Shangri, Arise, we can Special Summon Fenrir Unicorn. No Baron. But this way, you know, since we drew, you know, say if you didn't draw into the Race Off, say you just drew into the Scareclaw or into the Rise, you can do stuff like this. So then we're going to activate the Theosis. Now XYZ locking us. We're going to special the Fenrir. Use Fenrir's effect. Grab ourselves that lovely rise heart. Make Shangri. Special summon. And use lock his own, like that one, and then we can do either one of two things. Say you don't want to give them a Shangri effect because you're like, my board's really good, you know. If I don't give them easy access to Arise, I still have, you know, I'm gonna have instantly on. I'm gonna have a macro. I'm gonna have instantly online this. I'm gonna, etc., etc., etc. You know, you can either overlay it if you don't want to give them the Arise effect if you're worried about Kashtira, or you can overlay it over the Rise Heart and special summon even more interruption. Either a Fenrir if you want another banish that can give you another zone lock, or a unicorn if you're worried about things like Zeus or other extra deck monsters. Same thing. If it wants it banishes, another zone lock. And now, I mean, look, you have Imperm. you have Trap Pop. You have Race Off Pop. If a Kashtira Shangri-Ira you control activates an effect, you can target one card on the field, destroy it. So you have Race Off Pop. You have Trap Pop. You have AD Bounce 3. You have Baron Omni. You have Shangri Zone Locks. You have Unicorn or Extra Deck Rip or Fenrir Banish. You have Arise Banish plus Macro. Like, the board that this deck can put up and the fluidity of it is honestly insane. Now, you do have to keep in mind that the Theosis and only the special summon. So Rise Heart is not actually going to lock you if you don't special with him. So, like, say you have an E-Telly line where you don't need your normal summon for the P.U.N.K combo, you can, normal him and do some additional lines. But do keep in mind, if you make your Arise early, then you're going to be banishing all your P.U.N.K cards, so you don't want to do it. So here I'm going to show off the Harpy's Featherstorm, which you can search off Thrust. So there's a generic Harpy, Cyber / Harpy's Later. When a spell trap card or effect is activated, except during the damage step, quick effect, you can bounce one monster that your opponent controls. It's once per turn. I believe it can be chain blocked, so you do want to keep that in mind. I'm not entirely sure about that, though. It's a generic 8, so we can make it with, for instance, say... Okay. I'm just gonna, say I search this off, say they enter... okay, well, I would actually have to show that. Okay. So, say we open a Deer Note in hand... Deer Note. Let's say we get the God Hand. I'm not even gonna do the Kashtira stuff for here. This is just the P.U.N.K. If you want to lean more into Thrust, you can play things like the Mayakashi Trap, the Harpy's Featherstorm. It's a lingering floodgate that stops all monster effects. So they're basically going to pass their turn, go back to you. You make Pep, AD double attack off Carp, whatever. OTK them, game easy. So you can lean into things like that if you want to lean in more to the Thrust package. So here's something we could do here, right? So we have Xiamen Special, we have Foxy Tune. If they negate this Xiamen, we're still chilling. So, say they negate this, boom. Say they ash it, right? I have Thrust. I pop Thrust. I'm grabbing my Featherstorm. Cool, right? Now we go that into Shara. We can go Shara's effect. Did I discard with the Foxy? No, I didn't. And the Shara's effect, going to Carp. Carp effect. Da-da-da. We're gonna get Wagon. And our other Deer Note. Now, Deer Note, when it uses its graveyard effect, cannot be special summoned at all by any source. So do keep that in mind. You're gonna have to do that beforehand. Alright, so we're gonna grab Field Spell, activate it. Now we're gonna do it a little differently here. We're going to banish this Foxy to special summon this Deer Note before going into, because it's gonna, if once we do this to go into AD, we're gonna be locked. So we're gonna go into our AD. AD1, Deer Note 2, Special Sharakusai, AD. Or in this instance, since I don't have I actually did this wrong. So in this instance, if I had another P.U.N.K in hand to special summon earlier, so say I had that, and I didn't use the field spell, I used Deer Note's effect to special summon it, we could do this line. Use that, so search off of, and I'll show you what else you could do if you didn't want to do this line. Search off of AD, we're going to get Madam. So this is like a heavy P.U.N.K, no Kashtira line. There's a different ways. Sometimes you can do it with E-Telly, sometimes you can do it, if you have your Deer Note in hand to get like an extra Synchro 8, etc. Where is Spider? Here we go. And I'll just grab this stuff in here. Then we're going to banish that Foxy, special summon the Spider. Use Spider effect, grab that, draw off the AD, draw off the Spider here. Then we're going to fuse the Spider and Deer Note into Cyber Slash. Now we have Trap Pop. We have Bounce 1, 2, 3. We have Bounce 3, 4 when Shara gets engraved. And we have, you can activate this from hand since we have the Harpy Lady, but you can set it if you want. And just you're going to activate it in their draw phase, so it's really, either way, if you're worried about, is there anything they can even do to negate this? I don't think so. So yeah, you can, since we control a Harpy monster, we can activate it from hand. We have Cyber Slash Harpy Lady. But yeah, so now we have Bounce 4, Trap Pop, draw off Share effect on theirs. We have Bounce with Cyber Slash, Lingering Floodgate to where they can't play the game. And yeah, all in all, those are just some nice combos for the new deck list. I hope this was helpful. If there's anything else, you guys have in mind, just comment. You can also do the Mayakashi version, summon a Mayakashi, similar thing, Lingering Floodgate as this. If you want to lean more into the thrust, you can play things like a Pointer of the Red Lotus. If you want an extra hand rip with thrust, you can, play Lightning Storm, stuff like that. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the combo guide. Thanks for watching. Please like or subscribe.